I think slowly and gradually participants are pouring in, so it will take a while, but we cannot wait. Okay, so let's begin with this post noon session, what we popularly call a graveyard session. Okay, but I'm sure and I'm confident that Dr. Sharma will pull you out of your graves. Okay, and yeah, and here we have Dr. Sharma, close to 30 years of working experience, 5+ years in industry, and around 25 years of experience in the academics. And let me tell you, happens to be a great friend of mine and a great individual. He's a bit of everything. You can talk to him for hours on Netflix series. You can talk to him on movies, on cricket. Okay, you can talk to him on range of books that just got published in the last 15 days or so. Okay, and so he's a bit of everything. Okay, so he can engage people of all ages and all types. Okay, so let me formally read out, his brief profile before I hand over the floor to him. Okay, and he has been a prolific writer and a case teacher. So he's a professor in operations management. He teaches the core course in operations management and an elective in quality management systems, along with Six Sigma. He's a Six Sigma expert here. He is also an expert in lean manufacturing. His research involves using QFD to address quality and customer-centric issues in product development. He also studies operations management and lean systems. He has over 30 international peer-reviewed journal publications to his credit. He has authored numerous cases on the topics of operations and process management, including topics such as inventory management, MRP, AHP, forecasting, process planning and control, process and capacity management, Six Sigma, SQC, target costing, value analysis, sales and operations planning, etc. These cases are hosted with Harvard Business Publishing, Ivy Cases, Emerald and the Case Center. Some of his best-selling cases have been translated in Spanish and Chinese. I don't know how much he follows of these both languages. Yeah. Professor Sharma does Lean Six Sigma process and operations management training for executives of companies like Asian Paints. He holds a PhD in mechanical engineering from the NIT Raipur. He also holds an MTech from Nagpur University, MBA in operations, and a BTech in productions from Nagpur University. Before diving into the world of academics, he worked with different manufacturing industries in the capacity of an engineer. His total experience is around 30 years, which I've said already, and 5 of those were in the industry. Okay, so over to Dr. Sharma. I know that he will enthrall you. Okay, so over to you, Dr. Sharma. Now the floor is all yours. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Professor Monty, for an exaggerated kind of an introduction. Don't believe him. He's anyway prone to hyperbole. So I would not. He has raised the bar so high that now it would become very, very difficult for me to reach those levels which he has already earmarked in your heads. I'll try. I'm an honest trier. That's what I usually do, and I'll try and do that. And the topic of discussion which we have today, let me just put up the PowerPoint which I prepared, and then just give me a moment. I hope I'm audible and you're able to see me. Just raise your hand. 1 or 2 people, yes, if they can raise your hand, it would be great.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Okay. You are audible, okay, sir.
Thanks a lot. Okay, so give me a moment. I'll just yeah. Thank you, Sheetal. I'll just upload what we are going to discuss today, and I'll give you what are the things that are lined up for the day. Yeah. Thanks a lot for your feedback. The slides are being uploaded. Thank you, everyone. Those who have given me the feedback. Thanks. Just give me a moment. Okay. So as Professor Monty has already informed us, or has rather given an indication, this is a graveyard session because you just had your lunch. First, you listened to two great professors, and then you had gone for a break with a lunch and all. And this lunch has its own effect on us. even I had my lunch, but I would be speaking, so I can't afford to go into some kind of a slumber or a siesta. I can't afford that. But you people are all kind of sitting in your own cozy comfort, maybe in offices or in your home. I have no idea about it. These are the lockdown days that we are looking at. Anyway, I have two sessions. I mean, Professor Monty has given me, has roped in somehow or the other for two sessions, and these sessions would be on case methodology. Uh, I just want to set few things, set the tone for this thing is in the sense that, say, how many of you or what do you expect from this session? So I would like to have some 4 or 5 members speaking to me and giving me an idea about what are their expectation of this particular session, so that I can kind of steer the session as per the needs of the participants, because I can speak on this topic for hours and hours together. But if we are focused and concentrated on the way, on the things that you people really need, so I would be happy to kind of help. I'll have your views on it first, and then I'll get into my business of discussion. So I would first speak to Dr. Ambuj Sharma. Now there's no nepotism over here, because two Sharmas I see. I'm also Sharma, so that doesn't mean that I'm following some kind of a nepotism. Then I'll come to Charanpreet Gulati. So let's speak to Dr. Ambuj Sharma, please. Are you there, Dr. Ambuj? I'm not able to hear, or are you hearing me? Okay, let's go to Charanpreet Gulati then. Charanpreet, are you there? Hello. Okay, no one is speaking. Looks like they are putting it in the chat box.
Yes, sir, we can hear you.
Okay.
Can you please repeat the question?
Yeah, I just said to set the tone for the session. I just wanted to know what are the things that you are expecting from these two sessions, so that I can cover a few things, and that will help us in doing things better.
Sir, this is Chanpreet. Can you hear me?
Yeah, Chan. Yeah.
Hello, sir. So basically, this is Chanpreet. मैं औरंगाबाद से हूँ, MGM से.
Okay.
And my expectation is basically that I have a few students. See, the case for me, basically, I've done my MBA from US, so I truly believe in the case method.
Yeah.
We learn by doing, right? But
yes.
as I have started my career here as a professor, and it's been just 1 year actually, so I'm quite new to this field here.
Kind of very fresh and young. Great.
Yes, very fresh and young, sir.
Yes.
So what I've seen is कि हमारे Indian इसमें scenario में थोड़ा learn by doing ना, it's not as applied as it should be. And the students are not even that interested. I mean, मैं छोटे-छोटे cases लेकर आती हूँ, एक-एक, दो-दो pages के, but then
even that is not attracting the attention.
It's not. And then I have full-fledged case studies, जिसमें like there's around 7 to 8 pages ka, but nobody basically reads them. And then I feel like, what shall I do? You know, it's like learn by doing. I wanna use this methodology in class, but then I am just
okay, so how to motivate them or drive them towards you, or kind of have a good say conversation around a case. So I understand your, Chanpreet, I'll be addressing this question, because this question is at the top of mind for most of the participants that we have over here. Okay. Okay, Chanpreet, thank you. Thanks for your feedback. Anyone else who would like to speak? I think Ambuj Sharma is so the unka haath dard de raha hoga ab tak to. So please speak, Mr. Ambuj.
Hello, Dr. Sharma.
Hi.
I'm also Dr. Sharma, but I'm from Pune, working for Symbiosis. This is, because I did my PhD from Hungary, and there was no concept of case studies. So we were like mostly into research based, So, and I want to inoculate this case study into my teaching, but like this Madam Shanpreet Gulati, madam, if I'm pronouncing correctly.
Not many takers are there for that.
No, they don't even read. If you give them, now we are working from online platform. We tell them like, read this, I give you 20 minutes, and still like 1 or 2 people, they just come up and they respond. Others are not even bothered, they just read it and they don't interact and they don't contribute.
Yes.
So I don't know how to make it interesting, or maybe I'm selecting wrong cases or the cases. This is really it's very challenging.
We'll be talking about this, Ambuz, about the selection of the cases and all. I'll be touching that particular in the flow of our discussion. So definitely, more or less, it's on the same lines that Chanpreet has talked about. So let me go to Rajesh Sahu, and you would like to add something, or say, give me an idea about what is to be discussed. Yes, Rajesh, Mr. Rajesh. Thank you, Dr. Sharma. Thank you, Dr. Sharma.
You're most welcome, sir.
Yeah, thank you. Mr. Rajesh, do you want to say something? Hello. Okay. Okay. I think there's some. Okay.
Hello.
Yes, sir.
Hi.
May I?
Yeah. I don't know who is speaking right now. Is it Mr. Rajesh who is speaking, or is it someone else?
No, this is Subrat Chaudhary.
Subrat Chaudhary. Okay, Mr. Subrat Chaudhary, tell me.
Yeah. Good afternoon, sir. I think
hi,
definitely I'm expecting that is going to be a very great session ahead. So
I can't promise that. No promises on that front, Mr. Chaudhary.
Definitely, because from your starting only it is understood, sir. So think that actually, sir, it has been a challenge. I don't know. It may not be for others. It has been a challenge for me, at least, to hold all kind of students in the virtual classroom. So I don't know. Sometimes they put it on.
Mr. Subrat, I just finished my yesterday. I just finished my 20th session. One course I finished online, and I felt so kind of extraordinary that somehow or the other I managed to finish 20 sessions. And the conversation we had with the student and all, it was a learning experience. Honestly speaking, this is the first time that they are sitting online. I'm doing things online. You are also sitting on the other side of the fence right now. I have always sat on this side of the fence. So we are learning, we are iterating ourselves, and it will be very foolish on our part to understand or to presume that we'll get it right the very first time. Anyone who thinks like that don't understand how the process behaves. So one should be very, very open about that. We will be making some mistakes, we'll be making errors, we'll be learning. However, the only thing that I would say over here is that as we go along, we should try and curb the number of errors that we are doing, or we try and reach out to the students, because for them also it's a very new thing. We cannot come hard on them, and we cannot say this is what you need to do and this is how you should behave, and this is what that is something which should not be done. I have one feeling, Mr. Chaudhary, that I'll share with you. If you're giving real good content, people will be interested. This is my philosophy. I don't know how true that is and how relevant that is.
True.
But that's what I
true, because
if you are really delivering the contents, if you're really into, say, what the audience is asking for, then you will be listened to, you will be heard, you will be kind of paid attention to. So I think we are all learning, Mr. Chaudhary. I'm also a learner as far as this new business of online, because talking to oneself is only the madman's job. And we are behaving like madman. I'm talking to myself. I don't know who is there, who is not there. But some Mr. Subrato voice is coming to me, and I am happy about it.
Yeah. Actually, the classroom, it has gone to that different level, that is from the drawing room to kitchen room and everywhere. So that is becoming one challenge.
It's a challenge.
Thank you, sir.
It's a challenge. Thanks, Mr. Chaudhary. Miss Dr. Sheetal Deshmukh would like to speak. I think I would like to have a word, and then I think we should move on. Otherwise, I'll just be talking to you.
Good afternoon, sir.
No good conversation. I mean, I can go on talking to you people till the end of the day.
Yeah, I just want to know how to prepare the case notes and what kinds of cases we selected for the students in the class.
Yeah, I'll be addressing that definitely in our discussion.
Yeah.
And if I don't address that, please, Dr. Deshmukh, please remind me of that.
Sure, sir.
If I
Sure.
miss out because of some or other reason.
Sure, sir.
Okay.
Thank you so much.
Thanks. Thanks for the input. Thanks for the input. I'll be covering these basic.
Thank you.
Chanpreet, if your thing is over, please put down your hand. वो बहुत हाथ दर्द देता है ऐसा खड़े रखने में. I mean, if you want to say something, you please say that. Otherwise,
I'm sorry, sir. I just I forgot that.
This is online. I mean, कहाँ दिखता है वो कि हमारा हाथ उठा हुआ है.
Sorry, sir. Thank you.
So I think we are good. I think we can start the discussion if you people permit me to take the discussion forward. And my plan is not to give you a lot of theory about it. I mean, I'm not interested. Honestly speaking, I'll put up a slide and I'll talk about the theory behind the cases and all. I'm more about, say, my discussion will revolve around these things. Have a look at it, please read it, and I'll try and answer these questions in my discussion. And if some more questions are there in between, please raise your hand. I'll be trying and come to you and I'll try and address your query. I may be able to, I may not be able to, but I don't promise that, but I'll give it my best try. So let's have this. I mean, we'll be talking about what is a case, what is not a case, because that is also very important. I mean, people perceive things as this is a case, I can take it to the class and have a discussion. So that may not be the case as such. Then what are the things which a case should have to be considered to be taken to the class? I mean, either when you are writing a case or when you are taking it to the class or when you are kind of delivering it as a course content as such. So what are those things which one should look into? What are the core characteristics of the case? Then we have, I hear some noise. I don't know from where it is coming. Can you please put off the mics? Anyone who is having the mic on, just a request because that's really jarring. Anyway, okay. Then characteristic of a good case, what actually is a case, then how cases are different from one with the other, and what is it that they bring to the table as far as the learning and the development of the student is concerned. Then what are the things which makes the cases complicated or interesting, I would say. I mean, anything which is kind of anything which is peculiar about this methodology is a bit complicated and complex, but that is the thing which differentiates us from the normal routine kind of delivery that we usually have in the class. And then we'll get into how to do an analysis, what are the steps in the analysis of a case, how you should be presenting it to the student. And tomorrow we'll have a discussion about the relationship between the student and the faculty, and maybe we can have a small caselet which you people will analyze, and then we'll have a discussion around it. So I hope we are kind of say we have laid down the roadmap of our discussion, and I'll go further. Now, again, I'm telling you, please, if you have any query, you can stop right in the middle of the track and talk to me, because it will be much more an interesting conversation than only me speaking. A monologue is not good. A dialogue is always better. And if we can have a conversation with some more number of people, I would love to have that, because I'm also a learner. You people are also faculty members. So the exposure which you people have, the perspective which you people can bring, so maybe it will open up my eyes as well, and I would be happy to learn from you people. Okay, so I'll start with the thing which is not a case. So let me tell you, a case is something which has really happened. A case is not something which is a figment of your imagination. information. A case is not something which it's not something of a cock and bull kind of a story. It has to happen. Yeah, you can add some embellishments to it. You can furnish some more, say, meat to it in order to make it more interesting. You can say throw in say one or two fictitious characters in it in order to make the story interesting. But at the end of the day, it has to happen. You cannot have a case which has not happened, which has not seen a real situation, where the real people are not involved, where the real problems are not there. It has to be there. And it's not a news article. It's not a fictional story. It's not a journalistic article which you pick from a newspaper and say, okay, I'll talk about this particular case. Unless until this has happened, unless until there's a protagonist who is about some kind of a dilemma or a decision making has to be done, you cannot term it a case. Because most of the people think, okay, this article, I'm liking this article, whether this has happened or not, they are not bothered about it, and they take it to the class. You might just have a conversation around it, but in the official parlance of the term, that will not be termed as a case as such. So this is and so what actually it is. Let's have a look at it. Now, whenever we are talking about methodology to communicate with the student, we have so many of them. I mean, we talk about the classroom teaching, that is the chalk and board method. Then there's one-way kind of delivery, which is happening right now for the last 2, 4, 5 minutes. I am the one who is kind of giving you the gyan which is there. So which usually happens in our Indian classrooms a lot. Then there can be simulations, there can be role play, there can be presentations by the student, there can be say group exercises which you are giving, there can be focused kind of discussion you can have. And one of the methodology is a case methodology. So what actually is a case methodology? The case methodology is more about learning by doing rather than learning by listening. You carry out an act. I mean, you read something about a particular kind of thing which has happened. It's more about I mean, because this kind of knowledge doesn't come through a textbook, and it's experiential, it's intuitive, and definitely this cannot be brought into a lecture or in a textbook form. So what we do in this is that we try and bring an outside kind of a scenario or a situation in the classroom. We simulate the whole environment about it, and then we can put the yourself or the students in the shoes of the protagonist or the decision maker. Now, you are playing the role of the decision maker over here. I mean, the students are supposed to play the role of the decision maker over here. And say it can be about the situation, the things or the characteristic of a case is it may have a lot of information, it may have too little of information. There are time constraints, there are resource constraints, there are people issues, there are dilemmas, there are decision making. All those things makes a case as far as any education, I mean, management education is generally concerned. I mean, cases are mostly used in management education. So whenever we talk about this case, because it is imitating or simulating the real life scenario. And as we know, real life scenario is not structured. It's very unstructured. It's very, it doesn't come in a very linear kind of a form. And whenever you see which is not structured, our students are usually taken aback and they are not interested in that kind of activity. We'll talk about this difference between a lecture method and a case method very soon. But let's try and understand, we are here to make a decision. The student has to bind with that particular case so that they put themselves in the shoes of the protagonist, and then they sorry, let me sit. So all those people who are kind of who have seen or who have delivered a case lecture will agree with me. So these are the things which are the prominent thing as far as the case teaching is concerned. It's more experiential, it's more intuitive, it's simulating the outside world environment. It's asking you to take a call. It's asking you to take a decision about maybe a dilemma, about a problem situation, about maybe a set of problems which the company is facing, and all those things which happens. Other than that, a case is okay. You read the slide. I'll just speak to you in a moment. You have a look at the slide, please. Have a look. If you have any question, please keep raising your hand and talk to me. Okay, please read this slide.
Hello, Dr. Sharma.
Yeah, please. Yes.
Hi. Is there a possibility to remove this status bar because it is coming on top of the case study on your PPT? This status bar, you know, if you can see what
I am not seeing the status bar over my PowerPoint. So maybe the administrator at the Microsoft team front would be able to help us.
Because in Google
It is
Classroom
clear. I don't have also. I
Okay,
think
Dr. Ambud Sharma, I think it's only your peculiar thing. Others are not having that problem. I think so. I mean, this is my feeling. Just check. Maybe you log out and log in again. Dr. Sharma, try and do that. It may
no,
help.
but it's coming since morning. So because in Google bar, in Google, you know, Google you can hide it, but I don't know how to. If someone can help me, how to this remove this status bar? It's huge. It's
Maybe our administrative staff may be able to help because I'm digitally challenged.
me too. That's why.
I'm not very well versed with the way things are done over here. So sorry, Mr. Sharma, you have to bear with us.
It's okay. Thank you.
Yes, Chandrit. Yes.
Sir, I wanted to ask Dr. Sharma because मैं Microsoft Teams में ही classes लेती हूँ, तो क्या वो ये Chrome से देख रहे हैं, Chrome browser से?
हाँ, Chrome में हाँ.
सर फिर वैसे ही रहता है. अगर आपने ऐप डाउनलोड किया रहता तो वो आपको नहीं दिखता.
नहीं मैडम, ऐप में ही हूँ मैं, ऐप में हूँ. सॉरी, it's I'm using that. हाँ.
नहीं फिर सर ऐप में दिखना नहीं चाहिए because I take classes in Teams every day और मुझे नहीं दिख रहा है फिलहाल ऐप में.
I don't know. Okay, I will sort it out later. Anyways, thank you, Sharma.
Okay,
Dr. Sharma, thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, Chandrit. Thanks for your inputs.
Excuse me. If FN and F11 can be pressed simultaneously, it may go.
What? Sorry,
FN control
11
tab के साथ में है, and there is F11 on the top on your keypad.
So how many buttons? Control, FN and F?
No, not control. Just press FN and F11. It may help.
FN, F11.
No, I think
anyways, I will sort it out later. Thank you.
We will sort it out. That's not okay. So should we continue with you?
Please.
Okay. Thank you. So just the thing which is there on the slide, I don't want to repeat them right now. Just give you an overall understanding of it. As I told you, it's the real world situation. It's the real life situation that we talk about. It's more about participating into the system and then just listening to the professor out there. Then it brings in the experience, it brings in the background knowledge, it brings in the insights, and I mean, there's a judgment which is there which you need to take because your information, which is usually in a practical problem or a problem set, which is given by us to the student, is very structured. You know what is to be done and what are the answers which will come. But here it's very vague, it's very hazy, it's not very clear. So, and one more thing which happens is that the students has to come up with a solution and they have to defend that solution to a great extent. Chanpreet, you want to say something?
No, sir, I'm good.
Okay,
Please
okay.
continue. Yes,
It's
sir.
all right. It's all right. Dr. Ambu Sharma, please mute your microphone. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so this is we are more or less talking about decision making. Now, if I ask you this question, I mean, let's have a conversation around this. What are the levels of decision making that an organization usually face? I mean, in a very general sense. I mean, there are hundreds of levels that we usually talk about. So, what are those general levels of decision making that the organization usually face, which may pop up in the cases? Anyone who can raise their hand and talk to me? Anyone? So the levels of decision making, because we are more concerned. Yeah, Dr. Trapti, I would like to speak to you. Yes, doctor, please. Dr. Trapti, can you hear me? Hello?
Yeah, am I audible?
Yeah, you are audible. Very much.
Yeah. I'm saying that the decisions might be either at operational, tactical, or strategic level.
Oh, wow. I mean, you have just taken those three words from me almost right now itself. I mean, somehow or the other, you are in the mind.
Okay.
Great, Dr. Dave. Great. So, yeah, can you just please elaborate some more on these three levels since you talked about it, Trapti? I would love to hear the explanation of 1 or 2 line explanation of each one. I would love that. Yeah, please, for the class.
Yes, sir. Sir, am I audible?
Yeah, you are very much audible.
Hello. Yeah.
Yes.
Sir, operating decision would be something like deciding about inventory level, reorder point, or safety stock. These are certain things that you do on a day-to-day basis.
Are you from ops, Tripti? Operations?
Yes, sir.
You're from operations?
No, sir. I'm
your
from
example
IT.
comes from ops. Okay, you're from?
Yeah. IT, system specialized.
IT. Okay.
Yeah.
Also very close cousin of ops. Close cousin.
Yeah, sure. Yes.
Yeah, carry on,
Yes,
please.
sir. Yes, sir. Yeah, so a tactical decision would be probably, a sales manager deciding which promotional scheme to offer on which product, probably.
Very good. Very good.
So yes. That would be a middle level manager.
That's kind of middle level
decision.
Yeah, very good. Yes.
Yeah. And a strategic level decision would be something like, which whether to go for merger, acquisition, which industry to, move ahead, expansion of the organization.
Yeah, I would not have been able to give such lovely illustrations, Trapti. Thanks for helping me.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you, sir.
Good. So what Dr. Dave has just told us, yeah. Sorry for interruption.
Yeah.
You were saying something.
Yeah, could I try, sir?
Yeah, Mangi, do you want to add something to this, or you just want to extend this discussion, or there's some addition to it? Yes, doctor. Can't hear you right now.
Yeah. Am I audible now?
You're audible.
Yeah. So just in addition to what I listened from Madam name. Yeah. So this is Govind Verma from Gujarat. Basically, as you asked the problem, I see problem at primarily at three levels. One, we can call it at individual level. Which.
Okay.
Yeah. So I will come to examples of these, And the second label could be the team label, in which the individual is working. So these, and then third is at organizational level, which which could be in a strategic in nature, So very much pointed out, like merger, acquisition, and maybe collaboration and things like that. So these could be at a strategic level where leaders of the organization.
Doctor, Mr. Govind, I completely agree with you, and you have added some more layers to what Dr. Dave has just told us. So operational, tactical, and strategic, as far as the theory is concerned, and there are layers and layers within them as well. And we'll be coming down to your inputs very soon in the next slide itself, where what the case pertains to, what it entails, I mean, to whom we are addressing it. So continuing up with our conversation, whenever you are handling a case in the class, so the levels are different at when you give it to an individual, the interpretation of a case is a bit different one. When you give it to a group, something more gets added to it, some layers are added to the cases, because here the conversation is around, and here different perspectives are coming in for the cases. And when you talk about the whole class, the discussion is totally different, because here we are trying to have an opinion and we are trying to defend our opinion in front of the whole class. And here, when you're talking about a case in a classroom kind of a discussion, the faculty is supposed to be the navigator. He's not the one who should give the answer. He's not the one who should try and tell the student to go this direction or go in that direction. He's just a kind of a person who keeps it on the railroad and everything is moving smoothly in a particular kind of a say direction which the students decide, and they are able to defend that particular direction. It's not necessary that every case should lead to a single solution. We'll be talking about it. I'll just go to the next slide, please. What happens in this kind of a scenario is that at every stage the learnings are different. When you are handling a case individually as a student, the learnings will be a bit limited one. But when you are handling it in a group, you are having a conversation around that case, and you are getting a different, maybe one is from commerce, one is from arts, one is an engineer, one is a different kind of an engineer. So you get a hang of what's happening, because I may read a case from a particular perspective, maybe from an operations perspective. But if Dr. Trupti, the way is reading it, she may read it from an IT systems perspective. So we bring our judgment about these two things, and we collaborate, and we kind of cooperate and come up with a better solution. Maybe that is it, or maybe we'll fight with one another and won't come up with any solution as such. All these things may happen, which adds to the dynamics of the discussion. Class is much more a different ballgame. I'll just give you the next slide. Please read it. If you have anything to say, anything to ask, please talk to me. Trupti, you want to say something, or your hand is just kind of there?
Sorry,
Okay.
sir. Sorry.
No, it's all right. No, sorry, Baba. We are all faculties here. We're just friends who are meeting for the first time, or may not meet after that.
It's actually new to this Microsoft Teams, actually. So that is the reason.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's no, it's all right. Even, I mean, we are all learning. We are all doing new things every day. Mr. Govind Verma, you want to say something?
Yeah. I was listening to some of the participants who were pointing out that the case method sometimes is not becomes very effective with the students, and that they are not. So maybe so do you think that somewhere students' experience or their prior experience to industry, is kind of moderator in terms of taking up these cases? Because the problem is when we put a case, and that you very rightly mentioned that there are different levels. For example, if you put a case at individual level where the person is in dilemma, so maybe there people or students who don't have, or participants who don't have much experience can relate to. But if it is a group level problem, which person having prior experience,
our limitations are shown. Yes,
So,
there will be limitations. Say if it is a very strategic kind of a case which you give to a first year student who has not understood even the functional courses of the management, then it will be futile for you to take a strategy kind of a case to these students. So we need to be very aware of what level these students are. Are they experienced? Are they 5 years experience? Are they freshers? So we should be very aware of who bolte na. I mean, I'll just take liberty of telling you one thing. We are all professors and faculty. You know better than me. You have been doing this for years together. But there's this KYC which happens. KYC करते हैं ना customer का कुछ होता है. Know your customer.
Yeah, knowing your customer is very, very important.
Yes. So यहाँ पर क्या करते हैं वो है क्या? KYA, know your audience. Unless until you know your audience, you won't be able to take the right kind of cases to them. So unless until you know their profiles, unless until you have seen them over a period of time, you just don't dump a case on them. You never do that. The moment you start doing it, abhi to kya bhi nahi raha hai. Abhi to you have to understand the student. You have to not only know the student, you have to understand the student, where he's coming from, what's his background, what he's interested in, what kind of profile he comes with. Can he take this kind of a case, a 40-page case? If you give to a fresher, he will run away. He will not like you for sure. You cannot give a case which is 40 pages right in the first session itself. You are putting them off. So all these things are not something which can be discussed by faculty in a classroom. So we need to be very practical. We need to be very pragmatic. We need to have an approach that if I am on the other side of the fence, how I'll be liking it or not. That's the question. Most of the faculty forgets that he or she was a student at one point of time. And that is the biggest mistake that we are making. I mean, I've been doing this conversation with my students for the last 25 years, 5 years I spent in industry. And I say only one thing. I will never forget my days when I sat over there on the other side of the table. Because most of the faculty forgets that. They think now they are on this side, they can do any damn thing which is possible. I'm telling you, practically, you are making a mess of yourself. Anyone who is doing it, anyone who is forgetting that we were a student at one point of time, you need to think from their perspective, what they like, what they don't like, what they love to listen, what is it that they are interested in, what is it that adds value to them. And I'm telling you, if you give value, they will listen to you. You can be the strictest professor in the campus, but if you're really delivering the value, if you're really adding to their knowledge, if you're adding to their development, it may not be a course development I'm referring to. I'm referring to the development beyond the course as well. That is the most important thing. And we usually forget that we were a student at one point of time. Hey, एक 50 पेज का अगर केस तुम मेरे को दोगे ना जब मैं स्टूडेंट था तो मैं तो पढ़ने वाला नहीं. Honestly speaking, I mean, you are putting me off. Who the hell will read a 50-page case? I'm not from Harvard. I come from a very low-level university or a low-level college. Somehow I made it over here. I don't know how. Luck may be the biggest factor which is playing some role over here. So my contention is that we need to know our audience. We need to understand our audience. Then only you can hit a connect. कनेक्ट कैसा आएगा? जब तक तुम उनको ये नहीं दोगे जो वो चाहता है, तब तक वो नहीं आएगा. You cannot sit in an ivory tower and think about that you come from this university or that university, you have this degree and you have that degree, you have been the college topper or you have been the university topper. No one is interested in where you come from. What you deliver to them, that's what they are interested in. तुमको क्या करना है, वो कौन सी डिग्री से आना है? What is the degree which he is having? मेरे पास अगर पोस्ट डॉक है और मेरे को पढ़ाना नहीं आता तो will you be listening to me? You tell me, will you be listening to me? I have 4 PhDs and I don't know how to teach or how to talk to you people. Will you be listening to me? सुनोगे तुम मुझको? बात करोगे तुम मुझसे? Will you? Yes or no? You tell me that. I don't know. I mean.
Thanks.
Yes, sir. It is very true.
Thanks.
It's difficult to relate to the person who is not ready to listen, to understand. And most of the time, we faculty are at a big risk of taking ourselves very seriously कि मैं जो कर रहा हूँ वो एकदम perfect है और तुम लोग सब बेवकूफ हो और मैं जो बताऊंगा वही ज्ञान है. That's where the fallacy lies. That's where the problem starts. That's where the problem stands still. So please, whenever you are selecting a case, whenever you are trying to say, whenever you are trying to what you call it, trying to take something to your students, please have a buy-in. उनका है ना buy-in होना जरूरी है. And if you don't have that buy-in, no one will listen to you. From wherever you come from, the strictest teacher you can be, but no one is interested in that part. Any questions on this part, please ask me and then we'll discuss something further.
Yes, sir, it is very true.
No question, but just why don't we consider them customer, instead of audience? They are the customer, for which customer is one.
Here I use the word audience because customer, if you use word in an educational institute, a plethora of PILs will be come at your doorsteps. So I'm not using the word customer, but actually we are doing service delivery to our customers and they are the students. And we are responsible for whatever we are doing. And if they are not listening, I'm telling you the fault lies with us, not with them. Yeah. And I'm not talking about 100% student. I'm talking about majority of them. Because 10-20 jokers are everywhere. Every class में 80-20 rule Pareto's का है ना, वो हर जगह apply होता है. That gets applied everywhere. Everywhere. There are jokers even in IITs and IIMs who sits in your class and they are not interested in listening to you. So are you concerned about that? I am not concerned about that. I'm concerned about the 70-80% people to whom we are catering to. Are you getting what I'm trying to say and what I'm trying to hammer over here? Now I think we are digressing.
Yes, sir, it is very true.
इस मेथोडोलॉजी से कहीं और जा रहे हैं. आप लोग बोर तो नहीं हो रहे हैं कि ये तो कुछ और बात करने लग गया?
नहीं sir, it is very practical.
No sir.
Chalo. Okay. Any questions on this part? Otherwise, we'll move to the next one.
So we should move on.
Yeah, somebody was saying something. Smriti.
Sir, we really enjoy your session, sir. Don't worry, sir.
Okay. Thanks. I mean, thanks for that feedback because I need to feel because you're online in तुम्हारा body language or तुम्हारी your facial expressions are not available to me. So I'm kind of worried कि मैं जो बोल रहा हूँ वो पहुँच रहा है कि नहीं. I mean, that connect is there or not? Are you people really into what we are conversing, or you are just switched off? कि अरे तू बोलता रहे तेरे को mute करके हम अपने काम करते हैं.
नहीं. Actually, what we can say, our membranes are absorbing the information.
Oh, great. Thanks. Yeah, Dr. Pallavi, you want to say something?
No,
Dr.
sir, we really enjoy your session and we can easily connect with all your insights. So actually, this is actually happen in our classes also. So we need to think upon it and we need to excel in innovative teaching pedagogy.
Because what happens, Pallavi, is that we become very serious. Yes. Say, I am the last person on the world who will become serious. Serious जैसे ही होता ना तो you become grumpy, then you become able, and then people don't like you. So the first thing that they should do is to like you. अरे हाँ ये जो बोल रहा ना इसको सुन लो यार ये कुछ दे देगा आपको. That kind of feeling they should get within themselves. And how you can bring that feeling? You bring that feeling by giving what they want in life. They are there to learn. Most of them, I'm telling you, you may keep saying students are horrible, students are this, students are bad, students don't listen to me, students don't do their assignment, or student ये नहीं करता. अरे बाबा student नहीं करता मुझे भी मालूम है. लेकिन अगर तुम उनको जैसे ही वैल्यू देना शुरू करते हो, स्टूडेंट सब करता है. सब नहीं करेगा, 60% करेगा. अच्छा इंस्टीट्यूट है तो 80% करेगा. बहुत घटिया इंस्टीट्यूट है तो 40% करेगा. पर करेगा जरूर. Sorry for switching to Hindi, but that's how it happens. And that's what I have learned over a period of time. You need to be on the ball, and you cannot structure your discussion in a very structured and a steel framework. You need to be flexible. You need to be adaptable. If there's a question comes which is interesting and everyone is looking forward to that answer, please give that. Don't say ki, what kind of a question is this, and please never say that what kind of a question it is. It is irrelevant to the discussion. No question on planet Earth is irrelevant to the discussion. You should be able to handle it. Whatever it is. Whatever it is. You can bring in your humor, you can bring your judgment, you can bring in your style, you can bring in your presence of mind and make that person keep quiet for a while. But you cannot say, you know what is a good question? Can anyone define me what is a good question? You are all big professors and all, so please tell me what is a good question.
A relevant question is a good question, sir.
Okay, someone says relevant question is a good question. Agreed. Anyone else?
Can I say something?
Yeah, please do that.
A good question is a question which challenges my intellectual capabilities. That's a good question.
Okay, Dr. Sharma.
Sir, can I say something?
Please, Anirudh.
Any question that is asked in the Anuradha, Anuradha from Cyber Kolhapur. Any question that is asked in the class is a good question.
Arey, wow, lovely. I was looking for this. I'm telling you, in class, any question which gets asked is a good question. Any question which gets asked is a good question. Whether you have the answer for it or not, that's a separate discussion. वो तो बाद की बातें हैं. पर question पूछा means there's a curiosity. Maybe he's trying to test you. What's harm in it? Let the student test your knowledge. Let the student take your class. Let the student do your ragging. Then only you will learn. Otherwise, you won't learn. Otherwise, you won't become a better teacher. Don't try and put down the students who is asking a difficult question. Please encourage. Because then you prepare better. Then you become better. Then you are kind of one up on that particular student. And that becomes what a good teacher is all about. It's as relevant to a normal classroom as to a case. I've seen many case discussion where the faculty gets shaky when you try and tell them something which is closer to the solution of the case initially itself. Then we'll try and take you somewhere else over there because they are very uncomfortable कि शुरू में कैसा crack हो गया मेरा case. It should not happen, and then we'll try and put you down. Please try and encourage the discussion. You can ask always the question, how you say so? What is the basis of this? On what fundamentals you're talking about all these things? That is very important. And that's where the nub of your talent as a teacher, your expertise as a teacher, it comes into play. पढ़ाते तो सबको ही ना PowerPoint लगा ले तो कोई कुछ भी बोल सकता है. I mean, you know that. Are we digressing or are we on track? हम इधर उधर तो नहीं जा रहे. Because okay, I'll come back to the discussion of the case. Back to the case. So what are the elements of a good case? Please read the slide. I'll speak to you in a moment. Okay, have we gone through the slide so that I can speak? If you need some more 30 seconds, I'll just wait. Okay, So I'll tell you the 3 major things about a case. In every case, more or less, when you are taking it to the class, should have these 3 things. And if it is, even if it is one thing is missing, you should be a bit worried about what's the outcome of the whole discussion would be. So what we do in this is we have to just give me a moment. I mean, my PC is not working well. Okay, I think now it will. Sorry. अरे विदु जी आपका माइक्रोफोन ऑन है विदु जी आपका माइक्रोफोन ऑन है ओके ठीक है I think switched off now. So one is that it has to be real. As I told you, it cannot be a story. It has to happen. It should be the actual history which someone has gone through. So it should have a setup problem. It should have the situation which people have faced. It should be about a decision maker. It should be about the people around it. It should be there should be some what you call it as a factors which influences your decision. There are scenarios out there, there are situations out there, then it becomes an effective tool for teaching. Otherwise, you cannot take a figment of your imagination or a fiction from somewhere and then say, I will be discussing about this, because then you don't know what the solution was and what has happened over a period of time. Secondly, empiricism. Now, what is this? This is about the real data. This is about the real time. Say how to use that. That is the most important thing, because data is not given to you in a very direct fashion. It's vague, it's ambiguous, it's hazy, you may not have all the data on the table because in real life we don't have all the data on the table. The day we wait for all the data on the table, we are not deciding. We are not deciding. So we have this notion in our head that all the data has to be there on the table. Then I'll take a call. So you need to see into the data, what is available, what is not available. Even when the data is available, it may be superfluous, it may be of no use to you. So you need to know what is to be picked up and what is to be ignored. And you have to think of all the possible, say, scenarios which are there and all the possible decisions which can be made on the basis of that data. And the more data and the more say information you have in a case makes it more interesting and more enriching for the audience. Any question on this particular reality part? Then we'll move to the originality part as such.
I have a question, sir.
Yeah, please.
So you recommend picking up a quantitative case study than the qualitative case study?
No. I will not say that way. What I'm just trying to say is data can be in the qualitative form as well. For example, this government was a what you call it a pro-business government. This is a data which has been given to you and which is in qualitative form. And you have to base your decision or whatever the dilemmas which they are facing. So you can always keep in mind the government of the day, which can affect the socio-political environment in which you are making a decision as such, is a qualitative consideration that you have to bring in. The other qualitative data can be something like, say, what is the social environment around you when you are making that kind of, is it a state like a West Bengal which is trade union oriented, or is it a state like Gujarat which is more business oriented or entrepreneur oriented? Because a decision which is taken in West Bengal may not be very relevant in Gujarat state as such. That is the thing I'm talking about, not only the quantitative or the number crunching that I'm referring to.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you. So let's come down to the next part, that is the originality. Yeah, Govind has some question, I think. Please, Govind. Mr. Govind, please.
Yeah, I suppose you are not referring to, when you are saying realism, it's not, you are not referring to philosophy of science, because there may be a different meaning altogether.
No, I couldn't hear you properly, Govind. Could you please repeat?
Am I audible now?
Yeah, you're audible, but I couldn't hear properly. Yeah, please.
I just suppose that you are not, when you are writing realism, you are not referring to philosophy of science kind of debate where objectivism.
No, not at all, not at all. No. I'm not talking realism in the form of what you call it as this philosophical bent. I'm referring to this has
real
happened.
case. Yeah.
That's it. Not in the realism as a term.
Yeah.
No, not. Maybe I should change the word over there. Good. You pointed out well.
Yeah.
Because the people from philosophy, because I somehow once in a while dabble in the books by Seneca or Marcus Aurelius and all. So वो एक अलग perspective आ जाता है. Anyway.
Okay.
Yeah, so let's talk about the originality part over here. Now, what we mean to say over here is it has to be original in the sense if something has happened. So I'll just replicate the same thing over here. It may work, it may not work. It's the context which decide whether it will work or not. So a new concept taken from in a new perspective might just work. And an old concept, by changing the what you call it, is just replicating it at a different place, may not work at all. Because if you see this technology, I mean, technology is not what you call it as a core competency anymore. Anyone can buy technology if you have the money, but how you run that technology, how you use that technology, how you make use of it is the one which makes the difference to the organization. Stoicism, okay. Yeah, so yes, the Stoicism is Seneca's. I mean, these are the people who gave those things. Anyway, I think it is Chanan who is saying this. Anyway, novelty enhances scholarship and links well to your research. Now, when you're looking into new perspective or new dimension, you have a tendency to come up with something which has never ever happened, and cases are looking for that. I mean, every case is different from the other one. Please, Dr. Sharma, if you can put off your mic, it would be great. Thank you.
Sorry.
No, thank you. वो क्या वो ब्लिंक होता रहता है तो मेरी नजर है ना वहीं चली जाती फिर मेरा ध्यान भटकता है. So sorry for I'm a bit finicky about all these things. I'm really sorry. Anyway, so what I'm just trying to tell you is that say for example, if you read a case about Walmart and the supply chain, and you come up with a solution in US as a country, I mean USA as a country, and then you try and replicate the same solution to the supply chain of a big bazaar, you may miserably fail. The reason is the logistics which are available, the efficient and the effective logistics which are available, the transportation arrangement or the transportation facilities, along with the roads and every network that we are referring to, is very different in USA as compared to what we have in India. I mean, India, our supply chain has to be screwed up. I mean, there's no doubt about it. So you have to come up with a solution which is contextual to this country. You cannot replicate the solution which you saw over there in the Walmart and will be applicable as in toto. I mean, one size doesn't fit all is the meaning of that originality when you are coming up with the solution of the case or discussion of the case. Let's go to the theory part. Any question on this?
I have a question again. I'm sorry, yeah. I'm asking this, I don't know, stupid or relevant question. What is the meaning of the second?
No question is stupid. I told you in the very beginning.
Yeah, I know.
Yes, but the one who answers is the stupid one. So you don't worry about that part. I'll take care.
I'm not getting this second sentence. Novelty enhances scholarship and links well to your research. I mean, I don't get.
This is Dr. Sharma. This is Dr. Sharma. Try and explain the context of that sentence. I mean, the import of that sentence. No, actually, when we are talking about the case teaching, and the delivery of it, it may not be very relevant. I'm more interested in the writing part as well. I mean, since I've written few cases and all, so whenever you are writing case, it has to be very original and it should help you to do something on that basis to the next level. I mean, there are what you call it as teaching cases, and then there are research cases. If you know the difference between these two, I mean, those who know will appreciate this. There are cases which are done only for the teaching purpose, which are taken to the class for the teaching purpose. But there is a research case. I've written 1 or 2 research cases in my life as well, along with some research papers, which adds to the body of knowledge, which is original and which is something new and fresh. It is less to do with the teaching part. I do agree, Dr. Sharma. Does that answer your question, Mr. Sharma?
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Okay, okay. Okay, let's come down to the theory part of it. Now, the underlying theory, theme, or the tools and techniques in the process is very, very important. And unless until we have some dominating theory, tools, and techniques to discuss in the solution of the case, your case is not complete. I mean, you are not driving home the point. When you say this is the solution of the case, you need to talk about the underlying theory on the basis of which you have developed that solution. Because people think that the real practical world brings the textbook. No, it's always the other way around. The textbook brings the real practical world. Though they don't agree with one another, that's another matter. I mean, it's a long discussion which we can have about it. So it's about tools, it's about techniques, it's about themes, it's about theories, it's about practices. As I told you, it's about the concept, the context, and the contents. And unless until we bring in all these things in the solution, it will not help us to understand what has gone on. And one more thing, one company's decision may not be very relevant to the other company's decision, because the scenario is different, the levels are different, the scenes are different, and everything is very, very different. I'll just take this call. Give me a moment. Huh? Okay. I'll change the slide you read. Sorry, there was a knock on the door. Anyway, just to give you some more things about it, as we have been talking ad nauseum, that it's about real practical situation, and the unit of the case, as someone, I think it was Mr. Govind Verma who talked about it. I just want to extend that discussion. It can be, a case can be about an individual, it can be about a department, it can be about a group of people, as he called the team as such. Then it can be a section or the module of an organization. It can be a whole of the organization or the functional part of an organization. It can be about the whole industry. They say, for example, textile industry. It can be a case about that as well. It can be about a nation. It can be about an international level, or it can be about the world in itself. I mean, poverty. If you want to talk about poverty, and so you can talk about every part and remote corner of the world, then what you're talking about is the whole world here. So the subject of the case, or the protagonist, or the main focus of the discussion can be anything. Now, it's our job as teacher to understand what is it that will resonate with the students. What is it that will make this, what you call it as conversation between the me and the student interesting. Tomorrow we'll be talking about how to converse with, and what are the low downs that we should be very, very careful when we are discussing few things with the students. Now, it may be 1-page case, or it may be a 40-page case. But nowadays, let me tell you that it's not easy to take a case which is more than 5-6 pages. Even in the best of the B schools, it has not gone beyond 8 pages, plus 1 or 2 exhibit pages maybe there. Some data is there. So that's about it, because the attention span of an individual today is less than a sparrow. I mean, I always say that in the class. So how the hell you expect a person to read some 6-7 pages of cases and retain the information and then come up with the solution? So we need to give that kind of thing, because we live in a generation of this social media and WhatsApp and Facebook and Twitter and whatnot. So one thing and our attention gets distracted. I don't know how many of people are you there on WhatsApp right now and thinking the friend ki pata nahi yaar mere ko kaam bitha ke rakha, bahut paka raha hai yaar koi baith kar, and all those kind of things might just be happening at your end. And one more thing, it is one of the most accepted pedagogical tool in a B school, as you would have noticed. And these are like practical labs. Both, you know, science ki practical labs hoti, engineering mein there are labs which are there. So we don't have labs in management schools. So what we have are cases, because cases are kind of simulated environment that we kind of produce. Then we try and ask people to come up with some kind of a solution. And it is one of the most commonly accepted pedagogical tool as far as management education is concerned. These are some of the things I said, but I will add some more things to it. Just read the slide. I will come back and discuss. Give me a moment. Okay, so as you would have understood what is being said over there with that particular slide. As we can see, it talks about the real issues, and if it is it has to have some business value in some or other sense for the students. They need to learn it. If it is has no educational value, if it is not talking about the theory, if it is not talking about a concept, if it is not talking about the tools or the techniques or the themes or the context or the contents, then I think it's of no value to any of us, neither for the teachers and not to the students, because it's just a story with some addition to it and some problem which they can solve with some kind of an exercise, which they can put a formula and come up with the answer. That is not what we are looking for in a case. It should have, let's say, information. It should not be very obvious kind of information. It should be some kind of a hidden, or say, what you call it as, say, vague and abstract kind of information, which we need to figure out, which students need to figure out and come up with the what is needed and what is not needed. And no conclusions are made usually in a case. I mean, we can all have our own conclusion what is to be done. For example, demonetization. You can have a case on demonetization and you can discuss till the cows come home whether it was right or wrong, and there will be very strong opinion towards all these options which are available. Was it good? Was it bad? Was it ugly? Was it not needed? Was it needed? Some people may be in favor of it, some people may oppose it, and they have their own reasonable arguments for that. So that is a case. And that is where the discussion can lead to what you call as a very high emotional kind of a state of affairs as far as your prejudices and biases are concerned. Then like real life, it will have cross currents, it will have issues, it will have problems, it will have rough edges, because life doesn't run in a very linear fashion. We are all dealing with multiple issues at the same point of time. It's not that if I am say facing some health issues, the other issues will not be there. In a problem kind of a set, we have only one concern and we answer that. But in case of a problem, there can be n number of concerns which are thrown at it. So what is to be seen, or what is to be taken care of, and what is ignored, that is what you need to answer. And it makes the things complex, it makes the thing complicated, and that is the interesting part of the case. Then there's this three things which are there. I've spoken a lot. I would love to have your opinion about this noise, unstated information, and nonlinear structure. I would love to listen to you, then I'll try and give you my opinion about it. So anyone can raise hand and talk to me. What are these three properties that I'm referring to over here? Anyone who deals with cases, who is kind of pretty well versed with dealing with it. So what are the things that they are indicating? Anyone? सब लोग हैं कि सब चले गए यहाँ से?
Noise is the problem in the issues in the case study.
No, I won't say that. No. It's something different. I mean, because case is about a problem. There's no doubt about it. But what a noise is, yeah. Anyone, yeah, please.
People keep saying, giving their
irrelevant
giving their statement.
Well, I think if we can raise the hand, then we can speak. That would be, say, respectful to each other. Otherwise, I would like to speak to Archana. Yeah, Archana, please.
Yes, sir. Good afternoon.
Hi.
Am I audible? Yes, sir.
Yes.
Actually, I'm from Karnataka. I'm speaking from.
Okay.
Basically, when we are talking about cases, sir, what is my observation relating to your three properties? My understanding is that certain cases are abstract, like it doesn't have any conclusion. First thing, and certain cases
it goes everywhere.
Yes, and second second thing, what I have observed in cases is that they are trying to find out answers from us. And one more cases is they are doing a comparison.
So when two organizations or two companies,
two organizations or sectors, like if I'm talking about Flipkart, as recently they had sales recently. So when we are talking about a big billion day.
A big billion.
When we have a comparison of 2017 or 2018 onwards, the statistics, when you're talking about this, post-COVID, their sales were very high. And most of the sales were on electronics. So what happens is that might be, according to me, when we are talking about this, a comparison can happen about the years, like why exactly this year the sales have happened to such a level. So it is some kind of unstated information what we have.
Okay, thanks. Uma, if you can speak. Yeah, hi.
Yes.
Hi, Uma.
Yes, hello, sir. Sir, what I understand by noise here is there's a whole lot of information which is always available to a decision maker, manager, whoever it is. But how does a manager pick out only the relevant information from that noise, what is generally spoken about, and filter out
irrelevancies, dead ends, loose ends, sideshows, smoke screens, vague, red herrings, clues, misleading information, all these things are thrown at you. So you need to be very aware कि मेरे को काम का क्या है और मेरे को ignore क्या करना है.
Skill of management. We always talk about analytical skills, but there is a lot of information which is missing, and the manager should be able to connect the dots and come out with a diagnosis.
Very good. Very good. Very good. So, there is what you call it as a decode the information? Can you decipher what is being said? Can you infer? So here comes your ability to use your instincts, your gut feel, which is not based on theory or tools and techniques.
Right.
Is it what you're referring to, Uma?
Yes, absolutely. And also to look at it from a big picture. You will not look at it from very small, look at it in silos, but look at it in the overall big picture of the business.
Yeah. Panoramic kind of a view of the things
right.
or the affairs. Yes,
right.
yes.
Right.
Thank you.
And
thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Non-linear structure, anyone who would like to raise the hand? Those who have not spoken, I would encourage these people to please talk. I'm worth talking to. So yeah, Dr. Jyoti Shekhar, please. Is Dr. Jyoti Shekhar, please.
Hello, am I audible?
Hi. Yes, you're very much.
Non-linear structure here, I mean that since lot of information is available in an unstructured manner, so in a non-linear way means we need to connect the story, we need to connect the dots, we need to connect the data, and so that we can
connect
make
the dots which we can't even see. Anna Jyoti, we have to connect the dots which we can't even see.
Right.
Yes, continue, please continue.
Yeah, so if the story is created, I mean the student or the one who is analyzing the case needs to create a story so as to give a real, what is the problem actually in the case. So identify the problem and then lead further.
Okay. Thank you, Jyoti. So yes, I completely agree with the information which is given by the three ladies over there. A non-linear structure, I'll just add one or two more things. One, say nothing is given in a sequential manner. So you have to figure out, you have to put the jigsaw puzzle, the pieces have been thrown at you. And
yeah.
Hello. Okay. I heard some noises. Anyway, so what I'm just trying to tell is that usually in a textual form and in a textbook kind of a thing, what we do is we put things in a very linear fashion or a structured fashion. But when it comes to what you call it as a case kind of thing, things are very vague, things are abstract, things are just thrown at us, and we have to arrange those jigsaw puzzle in order to make this see the picture as such. And this is the broad view that we need to have, unless until we have we know where the case is leading to, we won't be able to crack it, we won't be able to find any solution for it. So these are some of the basic characteristics which are there in the case, and we'll now get into the discussion about how different it is from a normal lecture. So let's focus on this. How much time we have? I mean, because that will be a good way to understand what is to be discussed and what is not to be.
I think it's over. It's 4 o'clock.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Dr.
So can we extend to 5 minutes or so?
Yeah, Dr. Sharma. Hello, Dr. Sharma.
Yeah, Professor Mohanty.
Yeah, Dr. Sharma. Yeah, Jagannath this side. Yeah. So I think you have another eight minutes or so. 8 to 10 minutes.
Fine.
Okay.
Fine. Great. Thanks.
That's reasonable. Thanks. And if you want to extend it further, and if you have some concurrence
I don't want to. No, they already attended 2 sessions earlier.
Fine.
And they have been very good participants, so I will not load them more for sure, because they have other works to do as well.
Fine.
I mean, this is
fine. Please carry on.
So should we discuss this part, or should we come back to this tomorrow and we can have a Q&A for some 5-7 minutes with one another, so that we get a hang of few more things? Or do you want me to talk about this? Your choice. I mean, I'm open.
We can back tomorrow, sir. I think it would be wise.
Yeah, I think we can start a fresh topic tomorrow. I do agree. So, but let's have some 5 minutes of conversation with one another. If
will be ideal.
Yeah. And it can be pertaining to anything. It's not only case that we can focus on. You can talk in general. You can talk about few things with me. I dabble in few things, and if you have any queries, any questions about the general teaching as well, I would be happy to answer and happy to learn from you. Anything. So, Archana, you have some question for me?
So, yes, sir.
Yes, please.
Actually, what I wanted to share personally is that what challenges I am facing, as you just mentioned about teaching also. So basically, what happens in a classroom, as from morning, they're talking about bridging academic and industry, everything we were talking from morning. So today, when we are talking about case-based learning with your expert lecturing or any in the classes, sir, what challenges as a faculty I face is that I am not able to link with the syllabus.
With the syllabus.
What is the real case study? Yes, with the actual syllabus, because nowadays students are concerned with scoring rather than gaining knowledge.
Scoring and covering of the syllabus.
Yes. So when we are trying to, yes. So when we are talking about case, sir, because I believe that case will give them the practical realities. So can you, if you can put light something on how to make it?
I will just add my 2 bit to it, Archana. What happens is that we usually are following the cases which has been taken up by maybe some previous faculties, or what has been suggested to us in some kind of an academic kind of an environment. But what I more understand is that depending on the, because I think syllabus or the course outline is sacrosanct, and the cases should revolve around that rather than the other way around, that the case I have and I'll bring in this topic rather. So the search of the case is the most important thing, and to find a relevant case. And one more thing, Archana, it's not necessary to have one case per topic. What you can do is combine 2-3 topics and take a case which deals with it in some kind of a broken down manner, and maybe one topic is there which is new for them. You may touch upon it, or you may completely ignore that particular part while you are discussing the solution. So this is what I have done. Say, for example, I have written cases for myself as well, and they are being sold in Harvard now, so by God's grace. So what I'm just trying to do over here is trying to bring in the course content in an interesting manner. So Archana, what number of years of experience you already have, Archana?
Sir, it's 8 years.
8 years. So I think, Archana, you have more or less understood what is it that student need, what a case is all about. Maybe you can come up with some small caselets for your own courses. I mean, view something outside, say when you go to CCD, or when you go out there in an organization. You come from which area, Archana, if I can ask you?
From yes, sir, I'm from Mysore, Karnataka.
No, which area means functional area. Sorry.
Okay, sorry. Actually, I'm from finance. Finance.
Arey, to finance ka kya hai? You can pick up this business world thing, and where the real numbers are being crunched, or something which has really happened, and try and not make a complicated one, just make it for yourself. Maybe over a period of time you can get into the case writing business as well. So that's my suggestion, and this is my 2 bit of this is how I learned, and this is how I did to bring in the concepts in the classroom.
Yes, sir. Sure. It has given me an idea. Definitely, I'll implement, sir. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Archana. Yes, Uma, please, your question.
Can I ask if Uma is not asking?
If Uma is not asking, please go ahead, Mr. Sharma.
One second, sir. Sir, Dr. Sharma.
Let's talk to Uma. I'll come to Dr. Sharma in a moment.
Yeah, I have a question regarding when to introduce a case. Normally, there is an opening case to introduce a topic, and then there is a closing case with which you can conclude the topic. But the time issues are, may not permit.
So Uma, I'll answer that question in the typical management guru style. It depends.
Okay.
And I'll tell you how it depends. And I'll explain that to you because I know you have been giving this kind of answers to your students as well. But I'll just elaborate that it depends over here. Now, what happens, Uma, is that when you are in a classroom with experienced student and you can leave the concept and the book part to these people, the textual part, and you ask them to read and come prepared, and then I'll give you the case. This is one set of students. The other set of students, you need to teach basic concepts right from the beginning.
True.
Unless until you teach them that, you cannot bring in a case.
Yes.
And there are faculties, there are students who can bring a case and teach the concept. But there are faculties and students who has to you to first teach the concept and then bring in a case. So I need to understand what is your audience in front of you, Uma. Then decides whether the case has to be brought in the beginning or it has to be brought in the end, and what kind of case that we are referring to. Please don't introduce more than one case for a topic, or rather I would suggest please bring in a case which deals with 2-3 topics together and then throw it to the students. Case discussion should be only for those people who are really good in their conceptual understanding.
Right. One more issue I have is when you are having a group, giving a case to groups of students and the discussion is going on and it spills over to the next session, how do you carry forward? There is a lag.
So Uma, it's no, Uma, here again I would say it's the power of faculty to finish the things in the time which they have decided for themselves, because there are a lot of things which are redundant in the discussion from the students' end. So you have to take that in a direction which really matters to every one of us. That is what we need to learn the art, and it comes with time. I mean, it's not that tomorrow you wake up in the morning and then say we have all these loaded in our head. That's not possible.
Right.
Is Dr. Sharma?
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Sharma.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Sharma. Okay, I have 2 questions. First of all, can you recommend any good website to find the cases? Or any way do I find
HBS is the one of the best, but that is not free, huh? That's
the Harvard one. You're talking about the Harvard, right?
Yeah, I'm talking about the Harvard. Harvard is there, Ivy is there, Darden is there. At least you will get a snippet of it.
But which one? I mean, where we can find for free or where easy access, or we can
free. Then no, free is available then, but that is the pirated version of the things. I cannot say that over here right now.
Okay. Second question is that you spoke about your cases for research and for academics. You said something like that,
yes.
And you have written
teaching cases. Yeah, I have written
cases and research cases, and you have written both, right? Where do we get your access to your cases? How do we get access to your cases?
Again, my cases are in Ivy and Harvard, and they are to be bought. I can give you 1 or 2 copies from my end. I don't mind that. But that has to be kind of kept confidential and things like that. Just for I can share 1 or 2. I can share.
Can we have your email address? So that
I'll give you through the academic office. मैं वो तुम्हारे को team से भिजवा देता हूँ. I will do that. You don't worry about it. Yeah.
Okay. Sure. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Okay. Just one last thing from your end. 1 or 2 people can talk about it. Give me the feedback. What is it that has gone right in the session and what has not gone right in the session? Please tell me so that I can come prepared next time. Tomorrow morning, I'm meeting you. Nothing you would like to say?
Yes, sir. It was a great, sir. Very practical session that it was. I think definitely we are expecting some more sessions tomorrow that would be like that. And many things that actually we understand and we got to know regarding case analysis and the timely it is putting before the students.
We'll dig deeper tomorrow. We'll dig deeper tomorrow.
Normally we skip this kind of activities, sir. Very true. Frankly speaking.
Thank you, Subrat. I think is it Yes. Anyone would like to say anything? Yeah.
Yes, Dr.
Yes.
Sharma, it has been a very interesting session. There's been a lot of interaction and a lot of inputs coming from you as well as the other participants. I think it's great. We should go ahead like this.
Thank you. Thank you very much. This Archana was.
Can I say
something? Yeah, please, Archana. Yeah, you have the last words. I won't say anything after that. Yes, Archana.
So it was indeed a very wonderful session, and there is really a great learning for all of us, and how we can use case teaching methods in a very innovative manner. And we have definitely taken some very important lessons from your insightful session, and how we can use the cases in a different approach, and that was really a great learnings for all of us, and we are looking forward for your session, sir. Thank you so much.
Tomorrow morning I have a session, so please come back. Dr. Pallavi Agrawal's mic is on. Do you want to say something, Pallavi?
Yes, sir. This is Dr. Pallavi Agrawal. I am saying, sir. So actually, sir, I have said this thing, that it was indeed a great learning sessions for all of us, and there is a great learnings, and we are looking forward for your session, and it is indeed a very wonderful session, and we really learned a lot. We really enjoyed your session, and there was a lot of conversations, and
That's what I do. I love conversation. I can't be one-sided. I mean, it's very difficult for me to just speak on one side. Even when I'm sitting on that side, the other side of the fence, I'll definitely speak. I won't allow the teacher to speak for 1.5 hours. So that's about it.
Hello.
Okay. Hello. So
Hello.
I think, someone is saying something. Yes.
Yes. Sir, just a small expectation from you. If you can able to take a small caselet online in this station.
It will be mailed to you right now. थोड़ी देर में पहुंचने वाला तुम्हारे पास.
Okay, sir. Okay, thank you.
2-page case.
That's what I'm expecting. How we can take a virtual caselet on a virtual platform.
I will be talking about Rohini. I'll be talking about. I just forgot to tell you that you will be receiving a 2-page case. I mean, बस एक side और दूसरा side छोटा सा वो पढ़ लेना, फिर हम कल बात करते हैं. I think I'll take your leave. It was nice talking to you people. You were amazing participants. I mean, usually FDP में बातें नहीं होती है because they run away from the lectures. So I think it was good interaction that we had, and I learned a lot from you people. Thanks for being there, and I'll see you tomorrow morning. I hope you will join me back. Thank you. Thanks a lot.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay.
Bye.
Yeah. Thank you,
Dr.
Dr.
Bonsu,
Sharma.
please.
Yeah. So I hope it was a useful day for all the participants. We had 3 sessions and 1 inaugural session, where some dignitaries from AICTE addressed all of us. And I hope this continues for the next 4 days, I suppose. Okay. And thanks for being participative. So one of our stars delivered one half. Okay. The other half is remaining for tomorrow. Okay. And so that's all. A nice day, and thank you. Thank you. Catch up tomorrow, all of you at 10. Okay. So be there. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir.
Bye.
Thank you, sir.
Yes. In case you need something, mail me and Isha. Right? Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, sir.